Today I'm going to talk about fast octave passages, how you can play fast octaves accurately. Fast octave passages require many different techniques depending on the pattern of the octaves that's written in, whether it be jumpy with lots of leaps, or if it's scalic, or if it has a lot of repeated octaves. They all require different parts of the arms or the hands or the wrists to be used. So I will try to cover as much as possible, and you can apply them appropriately to the passage that you're working on. First type of octaves that are commonly found are the ones with leaps, where you'll be jumping around. Maybe something like this. So how do we play those leaps without hitting all the wrong notes? This is how. The key is not to land onto your note from the top, because then the accuracy level is much less. What you want to do is, after you play octave, you go up and your hand should already be waiting there. Up. So you are not playing from top to bottom. It's up, 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 up. Slow motion. So if you have a look. See how I'm coming up from the keys? Okay, so you will not be going, then the accuracy is much less. Now the important thing that I have to mention is, when you're doing octaves, keep that shape, the length of the octave still. Don't move your fingers in and out. So your fingers are the same, and you're only moving your arms like this. So just to summarize, when you are doing octaves with lots of leaps, the movement comes mostly from your elbow down. Your wrist is quite firm. There's not much movement there. And the keys, you go to your next note, stay on your next note, and then come up. You don't land onto your next note. You're going up from your next note that you have already prepared. Okay? Again, just don't come down, where the accuracy will be much lower if you did it that way. And lastly, octaves require a lot of muscle memory. So you do need to do a lot of practice, slow and building up your speed, and so that your arms and your fingers remember the distance. Okay, so don't get discouraged if you keep making mistakes in the beginning. Just slow it down and let your arm muscle remember the distance. The next type of octaves that I want to talk about are the scaly passages. Maybe something like this. Chromatics. Now this requires different type of technique to the ones that have leaps. Scaly passages are mostly done with your wrists, because there's a constant movement next to one another, so the wrist is more effective than arms. A lot of people I find naturally they only use 1/5 octave. So a lot of people will just go 1/5 for all of, whether it be black or white keys. But you want to make the most use of your finger shape. So your 5 is already on the bottom, and so it's most natural for me to use 4 on the black keys, whatever scale it is. So figure out the fingering that is most efficient, that requires the least movement. So we want it as smooth as possible. Okay. So when you're doing chromatic octaves, for example, which you'll find in a lot of passages, use your fourth finger, right? Don't be going 1 5 1 5 up, where there need to be constant movement of your arms and your hands. It's not efficient, okay? So fingering is very important when you're doing octave scaly passages. And the last type of octaves that I want to talk about are the repeated octaves. Something like this. Now, when you're doing repeated octave, there is going to be quite a lot of pressure. So make sure you relax as much as you can in between those repeated notes. Relax. It is done with your wrist. Okay, that's slow motion. Obviously, with fast beat, you're gonna need a lot of pressure going. So make sure you relax in between. Just generally, octaves require a lot of tension on your arms, your elbows. So it's very important you don't practice octave passages for too long. As soon as you feel the tension, just kind of relax, loosen your muscles, and then go at it again. So I hope you found the points that I talked about with the different types of octaves helpful. I know there are a lot of different variations and patterns in your pieces. It's not always straightforward scales or arpeggio leaps, but if you can apply those concepts into your piece in the octave passage, you'll find it quite helpful. So yeah, just start slow, be patient, and let your muscle memorize the pattern as well. And yeah, I hope that you'll be finding octaves much easier. Until next time, bye! Happy practice!